Hello, this is Strategos. It is going to be something different today. Strategy, war, and psychology of living all build on a special mindset that absolutely has to be present in a man in order for him to succeed or fail gracefully. Unfortunately, this mindset is quite rare today, even though this might change in the coming generation. So let's dive into it. Naturally, men do not want to be mediocre. In fact, being mediocre might be one of the worst things one can experience. First, mediocre is not the same as average or normal. Many men, and historically most men, derived real fulfillment and sense of accomplishment from simple things. Being a provider to his family, doing his job well, building a house, or being a skilled craftsman. This is something we might call honest work and honest living. This is something very much suppressed by the makers of contemporary culture. Of course, the greatness of our civilization came from the fact that our ancestors managed to combine respect for honest work with, ultimately, hero worship, the path of mythical ascension. What will follow now will be very uncomfortable for many of you to hear. Great man is always a warrior. It doesn't matter how hard you try to derive comfort from thinking of other noble ways of life, like that of a monk, honest tradesman, or a watchmaker. Our civilization is as great as it is because it is a civilization of warriors above all, where warriors would not hesitate to defy and dethrone the priestly class of the day if they like. And when warrior culture became weaker, our civilization declined. It may be uncomfortable to accept that the highest ideal for a man is a warrior, but that is what it is. It is natural hierarchy. There is nothing to be ashamed of in being less than our ideals. We are all deformed weaklings compared to our ancestors in some way, but at the same time never before has there been such a suppression of divine energy within ourselves. Achilles did not have to deal with pornography, banks, dating, office jobs, and xenoestrogens. Heroism is as much subversed and poisoned today as an idea of a normal man. Again, there are other noble ways of life that are not warlike, but let's not pretend they are all the same. A man in his highest form is a warrior, period. There are many other dignified positions in the hierarchy. Our problem is that many or most of these positions are domesticated and subverted. There is no real struggle, it is all commodified. Gyms where people go to do their dose of fake self-overcoming are just cages where perverts come to watch you. Even poverty and true misery is turned into a pity-inducing media piece designed to manipulate you. Nothing is real, except maybe for the endless steppe of Mongolia, but you can't take it anyway, you're too much of a domestic animal by this point. Thus, we find ourselves in a situation where both greatness and normality are actively being subversed. Who are being offered to the people as idols today? Are these great men of character and resolve, like Alexander or Leonidas? While the great man by the standards of contemporary culture is to be eradicated or sedated into oblivion, what happens to a normal man, an honest, working man? He is being actively programmed into mediocrity. According to my definition, mediocrity is another word for a very specific kind of misery. This is a misery that comes from man not fulfilling his natural needs and wants, not following his natural path of ascent to ever higher realization of his potential. The more inner energy you possess naturally, the more will you be susceptible to power-draining vices. Geniuses and great men often indulge in enormous amount of vice and compensate with equal virtue or accomplishment. On the other hand, there are also those that are lukewarm. These people eat, drink, have sex, sleep, work, rest, but nothing else ever happens to them. There is no drive towards something more there. There isn't even a strong emotion there, no admiration of great art, no high life at all. They never dreamt of drifting their customized BMW in Taiwanese mountains with an 18-year-old Taiwanese girl in the passenger seat. Nothing even of that caliber comes to them. Such condition, in my opinion, is worse than that of villainy or wickedness, where there is at least energy and a movement towards extreme matters. I maintain here that mediocrity is the true misery of our day, not in itself, but in the fact that it is largely accepted as normal. Mediocrity is not normality, is not averageness, it is a condition all its own. Many, of course, strive towards being better and they do self-improvement, but they are looking in the wrong place. Now, I will give small advice. If you wish to step outside of the realm of domesticated thinking, if you felt at least in some way things I described, you should stop looking for the way up where there is none. Next time you feel fakeness, disengage at once. Your frustrated real desires are infinitely more valuable than fake commodified desires that are achieved. A frustrated feral or wild man of noble spirit is higher in natural hierarchy than a fully satisfied mediocre domesticated piece of biomass. Thank you for watching. This was Strategos. Au revoir.